Let's make something. Something beautiful together.
Sup, you beautiful bastards. Hoping you're having a fantastic Wednesday. Welcome back to the Custom Card Review Show, and let's just jump into it. Hey guys, welcome back to another Custom Card Review here on the Ace of Plays channel. Today I've got a really awesome bunch of cards for you, and as you can see, I've made some graphical improvements to make this show look nicer for you, but keep leaving me feedback down below so we can make this the best gosh darn card review show on a channel that we could possibly be. But yeah, I got an awesome bunch of cards for you today, all submitted by you guys. I'm this close to finishing one of my own designs, so in the next video I should be able to feature one of my own cards. But for now, you guys, you're giving me content. I love you. I love you. But yeah, let's just jump into the cards. As you can see, our first card is Tomira. This was made by Bobby Fett, whom we featured before on the show. I'm assuming this is supposed to be a gold card, probably like an epic gold card, just because this is a unique character. It's an 8 provision card, and it's overall pretty good. But yeah, this is Tomira. She's an herbalist, neutral card, 6 strength, 8 provisions. Every turn on turn end, boost a random ally by 1. Like, this is just a very general, a very neutral, I guess pun intended, but it's not meant to be a pun. A very neutral ability, a very neutral card. And very great, like if you have like that extra space, like you're making an engine deck, maybe you don't have all the cards in the game. This is just a very solid card to put in your deck. It's really good. And of course, you know, Northern Realms can get some additional value from this. Really though, I think this should probably be at 5 strength, just because at 6 it's so hard to remove, which makes it a lot better than if it were 5 strength. And even at 5, like, it boosts the turn it comes down, so it's 6 for 8 value immediately, and it's an engine. And it's even at 5, it's very durable, so maybe put this down to 5 strength. I'm not sure. I mean, it's boost as opposed to damage, and it's random as opposed to targeted, so you know, potentially maybe it's fine the way it is. But very simple, clean design. I really appreciate this actually, but maybe bump down the power a little bit. Alright, for the next one, this is the first of several Skellige cards in this video, all submitted to me by Karma. They're all pretty great. This first one is Jorund, a 3 strength unit. Looks like a cheery lad, cheery chap. Deploy, heal an allied unit, then damage an enemy unit by the amount healed. Bloodthirst 2, damage an additional unit. Now this is a cool design. What's up with my voice? It's a really cool design for the heal archetype. You know, turning Skellige is all about self-wounding and then healing that back up. So turning that self-wound not only into no longer self-wound, but turning it into damage. Bloodthirst 2, you can damage an additional unit. On the surface, like, this might look like this card is going to get sick value. Bloodthirst 2 is fairly simple to trigger. But we got to keep in mind, like, the heal archetype is very underpowered right now. This might change with the next patch. We'll have to see, but yeah, like, this card's almost all the points from this card is based off of how much you can heal. Which is probably one of the hardest conditions in the game, probably, to fulfill. One of. But I really do enjoy the design. It's a cool way to turn healing into a more offensive kind of deal. Give heal decks, you know, some control elements. It's always nice to have various types of control, various types of proactive plays, you know, so you can mix and match as you want. Sometimes you have a card like this, which, if you're making a heal deck, will fit right in. So very cool design. Alright, another design by Karma. This is Ceres Fearless. This is another version of Ceres. We featured a version of this card in the last episode, but this one is very true to the original design of this card, but given a shield, I guess. We didn't have shields like this in open beta, And maybe that's what this card needs. So it's 3 strength, comes down with a shield, has order on the melee row, play the next unit you discard. Now, we don't have a provision cost on this, but I mean the shield helps. Shield plus 3 strength. I mean, shield alone makes it pretty easy for this card to survive 1 turn, but it can be moved. And let's see, play the next unit you discard. You usually don't discard, very good units. But maybe there is like a strategy to this where, I mean, it says play, not summon. So, like, if you have King Bran as your leader, then you can essentially play 2 cards in 1 turn with this. You can set up 2-card combos. Off the top of my head, I don't know what Skellige would have in that department, but that's always a cool feature. Potentially really powerful, being able to play more than 1 card in the same turn. With the exception of like Tudor chains, because yeah, you can play 8 cards in a turn, but 7 of them just play other cards. But yeah, with King Bran, this ability would be really interesting. You could probably set up some awesome plays, and the shield makes it a little bit durable. 3 strength, probably fine. So I really like this, and I hope we see something similar to this coming in the near future. Fola, another card by Karma for the best faction, Skellige. This is a 2 strength human warrior. Deploy Bloodthirst 4. That's pretty big Bloodthirst. Discard a card from your deck, then deal damage equal to its base power to an enemy. This would also work really well with Ceres Fearless. This card, like, there's so many layers you have to think about with this card. Like, it's a better Hjalmar because it doesn't require the setup of getting a unit in your graveyard. It thins your deck for 1. It has synergy with Ceres Fearless, so if we get a card like that, this would be good with it. But Bloodthirst 4, of course, that's like the highest Bloodthirst we have, right? I don't think we've seen anything higher than 3. Could be hard to trigger, of course. Like, this is a control card. This would be really good in like Control Crack, where Bloodthirst 4 might be achievable. Of course, Arnjolf, this would work really well in Arnjolf. But of course, you use Arnjolf in round 3, this card in round 3, the thinning isn't worth as much, but it's a good control tool. This would be really hard to balance, like really hard to price this card. But the design is really cool. Discarding from your deck and dealing damage equal to the base power. I mean, you can use this to set up Hjalmar. Like, this would be really good in a control deck that can consistently pull off Bloodthirst 4. So this is pretty cool. Fallen, you get a thumbs up. Alright, we will get back to Karma later in this episode, but first we have Vizima Gatekeeper, made by Praise Be the Great Sun. This is a 4 strength, 5 provision Nilfgaardian unit. Order on the melee row gives spying status to an enemy unit, so bringing back the old infiltrator ability, in a sense, where you can make any unit on the enemy side spying. And deploy on the range row, remove the spying status from an allied unit. Now this was just, Praise Be the Great Sun, wrote in the Discord that this ranged ability was just, like, in the mirror match, like, your opponent gives spying status to a big unit, and you can remove it. Now, of course, this card by itself right now, in the current card pool that we have, is really bad. But it did come with a second card that is meant to synergize with, so let us just jump onto that right away and look at some synergy. Emir Unforgiving. Pretty sure this should be a legendary, but that's, details schmetails. 1 strength, 9 provisions, destroy all spying units on the board. I don't know what I think about this card. Because with the current card pool, this is bad. I mean, it has potential, because you can play a lot of spies. You can use Nilfgaardian Knight and like enemy boosting tactics to boost them up and just negate the boost completely with Emir. But with the Vizima Gatekeeper, then it's just too strong, because you can destroy anything you want, basically, as well as every spy you've been playing. So this card is... Ooh, I don't know what to say. I think if they're going to do something like this, they should just bring back the old... I think it was Menno who had the ability of destroying a spying unit. And then you have a card that, you know, gives spying to whatever you want. It would be similar to, you know, Bounty and Graydon. Just putting this tag on destroy all spying units, like, you know, it might be problematic or is underpowered. Either way, this current design probably wouldn't work too well. But it is cool, and I do love the idea of turning the leaders into, you know, cards as well. You know, because with some of the new Syndicate leaders, they already exist in the game as cards, like actual units. And, you know, why not? Why wouldn't you do that? I think that's perfectly fine. But yeah, Emir Unforgiving, I forgive you. Okay, we're back to Karma. This is an interesting one. Viggy the Loon. 4 strength. Deploy dual an enemy unit with higher power. So, I mean, that's pretty alright. Like, it's going to be 8 points, usually. You can duel a 5, you know, 4, it deals 1 back, you deal 1 back, and then you, yeah, 8 points. How easy would that be to trigger? I mean, getting a 5 strength unit on the opponent's side is pretty easy, so it'll probably be simple enough. Really good removal in that case. But it has a secondary ability. Come on, guys. Bloodthirst 3. Transform into Viggy the Unfearing instead. And Viggy the Unfearing is just this card with Resilience instead of the deploy ability. I don't know, when I saw this card, like obviously it is awesome. And like it transforms, it's great. It has multiple abilities. You know, you could play it in different ways. The only thing I don't like is that maybe you want the duel, but you have Bloodthirst 3, so you don't get it. You get a resilient unit. So I would want this to be a choice. Like if you have Bloodthirst 3, you can choose to make it resilient. Because like imagine like round 3, like you save this for removal, you get Bloodthirst 3 going, you want to remove something, boom, you can't because you have a 4 strength resilient unit. So yeah, it would have to be a choice somehow. But otherwise, it's really cool. Viggy the Loon, great art, very savage. Very savage. I like it. This next one comes from Mikelo. This is Koske? I don't know. It's in both strength insectoid for monsters anyway. Deploy, destroy all allied units on this row. Boost stealth by 1 for each destroyed. And then summon them from your graveyard to this row. Now this was intended to be a different, potentially better ritual sacrifice, triggering a bunch of Death Wish. But then you get the units back, you get some boosts for each unit destroyed. This card, I cannot evaluate its power level right now. Like it would take mathematics, if you will. But it is really cool. And someone pointed out, of course, that if you destroy a bunch of like Arrakis drone, an ancient fog that has already been triggered, like they're all doomed. So it's not like you would boost stuff by 1 for each of those tokens and then boom, you get them all back. But of course, if you're playing Arrakis Queen, you would essentially get them back. Like the design is pretty cool, intricate, requires thought, both in the deck builder and on the playing field, which is like the best part. That's like the best thing in Gwent. I'm having a hard time evaluating the power level of this, but of course, triggering a bunch of Death Wish, triggering Arrakis Queen 6,000 times, pretty good. And yeah, I can't even pronounce its name. Back to Karma. We are now at the card that is one of the coolest cards I have ever seen. And I'm not joking. I'm not joking. The design of this card and the art of this card Holy shit. Heime Mender, a 3 strength bronze unit for Skellige. Play a bronze unit from your graveyard. On turn end, destroy that unit. So you want to play something with, low power and a big deployability. And I'm just thinking Bearmaster. This plays your Bearmaster, gives you 3 extra points, and then you destroy the Bearmaster, so you can resurrect it again. It's that awesome. It is that awesome. With that particular combo in mind, I don't think this should be 3 strength. At all. See, are there other combos? Probably. I mean, Skellige, aren't they really that much about the deploy abilities of their bronzes? Not really. Not the good ones. The ones that are good now, at least. Maybe with the patch, we'll get some new ones. But yeah, with Bearmaster, this would be insane. I just love this. Like it's a res, but you don't get to keep the base power of the card on the board, so you get to keep the base power of this card. I think that is really, really cool. And the art is beautiful. Holy shit. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Moving on. Alright, another returning card is the Beast. We saw this in the last episode as well. This is a new design made by Foltest the Great. I really like this one, actually. 2 strength, 7 provisions. Deploy. Dominance. Boost self by 0. Increase the boost by 1 for every beast you play this game. Yes. This is a beast archetype card for monsters. I really like the way this card is just like a payoff card for beasts. And Skellige, you have Bearmasters, like that's the payoff card. And it's a bronze that you can res. It's a huge payoff card. This is probably slightly smaller, and it's a one-off. It's a gold card, but it's just a straight up point slam. Boom. Oh, you played 10 beasts? Boom. 12 points for 7 provisions. Really good. Looking at the stats and the ability, this is probably based off of that new Syndicate Dwarf. I don't remember his name, but he's the one that boosts by 1 for every special card you played. It's probably very based on that. And I like that. I like payoff cards like